And there is something that you need to know about, because at 8:15, that's when we do the most important, most exciting, essential piece of brand new music that you can get added to your playlist this evening. I call it my next wave. Plenty of the bands, plenty of the artists that we're going to play throughout the next 2 hours have been previous next waves. It's the cosign to show you that they are the ones for the future, the serious ones that we believe can go all the way. Tonight is about an artist called Ekkstacy, and it only gets worse, I promise. Doing next wave imminently. And were any of you around when we first played an artist called Kenny Hoopla on the show? Kind of plucked Kenny from the depths, a boy that really was just influenced by the late indie scene of the noughties, and now really just growing and becoming a powerhouse of an artist. Well, the artist I got tonight, Ekkstacy, feels like he has very similar energy to when I first discovered Kenny. And it only gets worse, I promise, is the track. We're playing it after this from Nick Mono. You know that excitement, that buzz that you feel when you discover something brand new that a second beforehand you had no idea that it existed on the planet. Tonight on the show, you are going to be feeling that feeling over and over again, discovering new, exciting, fresh music. Welcome to Futurize, Nick Mono and Rusty right there on Radio 1.
Next Wave.
Right, this is the big one. This one will definitely give you that feeling. It goes under the name of being my next wave. It gets the cosign of being one of the most exciting things around at the moment. And tonight, it is all about an artist called Ekkstacy. Bags of potential when it comes to Ekkstacy. I mean, potential that needs properly unleashing. At the moment, it's simmering away in the underground. Ekkstacy doing his thing. But to be honest with you, tonight I just really want to let him fly a little bit out here on the show and show you guys exactly what he is all about. A young soul, only at the beginning of the journey, as I said. But I think it feels real good to be able to put the ignition key into the things and give you guys the moment to share alongside us with that as well. So let's do it. Your next wave tonight, Ekkstacy is the artist. And this is a track called It Only Gets Worse, I Promise. And we're meeting Stacy afterwards as well to talk us through this thing. It's our next wave.
Next wave. Next wave.
That was tonight's next wave on Future Artist, Ekkstacy, and It Only Gets Worse, I Promise. Stacy is on the phone with us right now to talk us through this thing. Let's start off with the track, Stacy. Run us through it. Why did you write this?
I wrote this about a girl, and I was working on an album at the time, and each song was kind of like a different stage in our relationship that we had. But that was like the fourth song on it, I think, and that was like the turning point in the relationship where everything started to get worse, basically. So
I was going to say this, I mean, just from the title alone, you know, this feels like the kind of point in the road where it splits off into two, and you're faced with a couple of different paths, and so there's a lot of fight from you in this thing, in a way, really, isn't there, to kind of guide down the correct one?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I'm seeing her tonight.
No way. What, as in, so
yeah.
are you still together then? Have you broken up? Like,
no, I haven't seen her in like a year and a half, so that's another reason why today is kind of crazy.
Okay. Well, look, dude, good luck. I'm rooting for you, man. I hope it goes well, you know?
Yeah, dude, I hope it goes well too.
Yeah,
man.
especially if we get another banger out of it. Definitely.
Yeah.
So talk us through where you grew up, Stacy. Like, what was the come up for you? Were you immersed in the music that you make now, like this kind of style, or was it different for you? Set the scene.
No, it was definitely different. I mean, I feel like most artists say like their parents or someone around them showed them the stuff that they like, but I was kind of like faced with something else I had to find in myself. So I had to kind of find my own style of what I like to listen to. So I started listening to like rock. And then when I got into high school, I started listening to like SoundCloud, and that was a really big change for me. But there was a couple things that had to happen before I was really ready to do it myself.
What were the other things that needed to happen?
I feel like I didn't have enough confidence when I was younger to do it, and I didn't have anything to say. I had like one specific traumatic event when I was in grade 9, and that's kind of like where everything changed for me, and that's literally started making music the next day.
So who else across this scene that you seem to be a part of do you really, really like? Because for me, when I listen to your music, I mean, I think quite clearly the drums and that late noughties indie influence. Yeah, man. I mean, I think it really screams through your music. Like, it's clearly a big influence for you. And like for us, you know, Kenny Hoopla out here on the show is a really cool one who feels like marries really nicely together with what you're doing, but you both feel like you're in your own lanes. Are there other people out there who you feel really excited about that make music like you do?
Current Joys is probably my favorite band. Hopefully I'm getting in the studio with them soon.
Nice, man. I was going to say, are you interested in linking up with anyone and making things happen with other people at all?
I don't know. I'm not the most interested in working with other people, but there's definitely a couple people that I want to work with.
Good, man. Well, look, the time will come when it feels natural. It will happen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Stacy, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thank you too.
No worries. That was tonight's Next Wave on Radio 1, Ekkstacy, and it only gets worse, I promise.
Jack Saunders, Next Wave.